carry to shoot. I just carry for safety.
The two faces of the host country of the 2010 World Cup. The bright, colourful, inviting side South Africa wants the world to see. And the reality that lies beneath this facade.
It's part of the bizarre dichotomy of living here, because you're living in many ways in paradise. I mean, it is a beautiful country, and it has tremendous potential. And it has lived through this miracle of political transformation without a civil war. And the fly in the ointment is the crime.
The signs might boast it's ready, but South Africa is still racing against the clock to apply the finishing touches for the World Cup just days away. The massive and impressive stadia are finished, but across the capital Johannesburg, work continues at a frantic pace, 24 hours a day to clean up the mess, to have it looking perfect.
I think South Africa's ready. I think we're as ready as we're going to be. It all looks very glamorous, and I think, I do think we're ready.
People might literally be dancing in the streets, but this is a country you can't treat like any other. It's the crime capital of the world, and not even the biggest sporting event on the planet, the World Cup, can mask that fact.
It's a violent country. I've covered things over 21 years which, have really upset me. Sometimes I think myself, where's this country going?
Now, Rabbi brings together the big names associated with the event.
Investigative journalist Derek Watts and his executive producer George Mazarakis are two brave enough to tell it straight and have copped death threats for their trouble. They're hopeful the World Cup goes off without a hitch, but they're not overly optimistic.
We've got the military, we've got the police, we've got cover from hotels to transport, the highways, right to the stadia, inside the stadia, outside the stadia.
I think the majority of South Africans are peace-loving, ordinary people who want to get on with their lives and who are sick and tired of living in fear.
Fear that is everywhere, evident from the massive security systems on everyone's homes. Electric fences, 3-metre high brick walls with barbed wire, gated communities with armed guards with orders to shoot, to kill. The booming businesses in this country are those supplying fences and bodyguards. The Socceroos and every other team here is under 24-hour surveillance. The tight security isn't lost on our players like Vinnie Grella.
Doesn't concern me because we have no issues. We are very well protected. The Federation has their own security looking after the place, so we feel very safe.
There are 600 bodyguards protecting foreign visitors during this World Cup.
The World Cup has masked numerous of the problems in South Africa. Obviously for the image to obtain the World Cup into South Africa. Our crime stats wasn't displayed honestly towards the world outside.
Trevor Ackerman runs Sting Security and is providing 66 bodyguards across the country. He's shot and killed 2 attackers himself after they shot him in the back.
The reality really crime is high. The reason FIFA is trying to mask it obviously is revenue for them. But the crime is out of order.
If people are worried about their security here in South Africa, they should be. Especially when you hear the crime statistics, they're absolutely staggering. In Australia, we record about 250 murders a year. Here, they do that in less than 1 week. 3,000 kidnappings a year, more than 50,000 rapes. And into this mess are coming more than 20,000 Australian tourists to see the World Cup.
Security at the stadiums is not a major crisis. That's been covered by SAP. But the security of the foreigners coming to South Africa, moving around in the hotel areas and the built up in residential areas where they're going to relax after a game, those are the major concerns.
There are police literally everywhere. An extra 55,000 reservists have been brought in to patrol the inner city streets and the playing fields. But that's left a huge hole in the suburbs, many housing hotels and guest houses being used by visiting football supporters.
We're looking for suspect vehicles, suspect people on foot. Keep your eyes open and be safe. And then anything suspect, call in for backup, and then we'll get together at those points and we'll check it out together.
This is one of dozens of city patrol groups, militia, operating in South African suburbs. They've formed themselves because crime is out of control and coming to their front door. Violent burglaries and armed carjackings just like this, even in their own driveways.
Told me to lie down on my stomach. I had a necklace on, he pulled it off my neck, felt my pockets, got in the car calmly, drove off, and that was the end of it.
They're armed to the teeth for this patrol. They do it every night. You lost your wife to one of these people.
I have, yes. It's been a while ago, it's 1996.
And they stole the car and just shot your wife, did they?
Yes.
Wayne runs this suburban militia group. Every member of his family has been a victim of violent crime.
Got a major issue at this shopping centre because of the back entrance being so dark.
An attempted burglary at a local grocery store triggers an alarm. The Citizen Patrol group reacts. This is not a game, it's very real.
The guys are in here.
The guys has just jumped the wall here.
I have never seen neighbourhood watch like this. They're hunting two men. You can hear them whistle, a signal to each other as the patrol net tightens.
Duncan, can you confirm if you can see the torch lights on the right-hand side? Dal, if you can keep your current position.
You've got a torch with you. Please keep your torch on. It's extremely dark. And there's guys on the perimeter, so we know who's moving around, please.
They have to do this because police don't answer the alarm calls. In some cases, they don't even answer their own phones. It's up to the people themselves to keep the peace, even if it wakes residents.
Hello? Go.
Where's Dusty?
Slide is broken off. It looks like they used that as a step to get down.
Yeah, I left Salvatore.
For more than an hour, they attempt to catch the would-be thieves. There is no sign of police at any time. The burglars get away, this time.
We do this often, and once they move into the properties, we chase them for hours and hours and hours. It's up and down stories.
The whole idea is if you don't get them, make sure they're terrified enough never to come back.
That's the whole idea, yes.
South African officials have warned all visiting supporters to stay away from hotspots like notorious Rocky Street, home to prostitution, illegal gambling, drugs and murder. It's not the kind of place you want to visit after dark.
This is becoming Fortress South Africa. We don't once know which areas are dangerous. They do not go out unless they are 100% sure they are safe. And you can't give you 100% surety of safety in this area.
So far, there hasn't been any major attacks on supporters. Everyone hopes it stays that way. How important is this for South Africa to go off without a hitch?
Critically important, because we all need to make this work. And if we can make this work, we can make everything work. So it's really important that we pull it off. It's really important that we welcome everyone and that it goes without a hitch and that it's not subject to terrorism or crime of any kind.
Hey, come on,